Day 2, one chapter a day. We're all prophets in our own journeys. Psalm 114. If you know, you know. When Israel went out of Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of strange language, Judah was his sanctuary and Israel was his dominion. The sea saw it and fled. Jordan was driven back. The mountains skipped like rams, and the little hills like lambs. What ailed thee, O thou sea, that thou fleddest, thou Jordan, that thou was driven back? Ye mountains that ye skipped like rams, and ye little hills like lambs? Tremble, thou earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob, which turned the rock into a standing water, the flint into a fountain of waters. It's crazy. These are bars, like very powerful bars. Like I said, I'm always gonna do some pre-reading this because I don't think it'll be fair if I just give a pure raw take on it. I think I need to blend after thinking about it some and then reading it aloud again, and maybe new ideas or new revelations from it will come. But one thing for sure I got from it was that God's power is clearly at work here, like in full display, for a reason though. And you know, a lot of things that we say just in passing or just as a part of our colloquialisms, as a part of our, this is just in our language, you know, it's just part of the lexicon. It's just referring to God as the Father, but not thinking about it as how a father would behave in certain situations, you know? And now as a father of 3, you know, 10, 5, and 2, like a lot of these things make more sense to me, you know? Like, I can imagine if my children grew up and were out on their own and they were doing their own things and making their own decisions that I can see is outside of what I may have taught them growing up, you know, and, you know, they're their own individuals. They have their own autonomy and they're going to make their decisions, whether mistakes or not, you know, and as parents, we have to watch them make their mistakes, catch them when they fall sometimes let them fall all the way, you know, and so they can learn, but then still be there because we love them. Like, I can imagine the children returning home, and just the thought that the children are returning home to what the father had laid out. I can imagine the mother go, oh my goodness, the child's coming home, and preparing everything and moving mountains, you know, cleaning the house and preparing a feast, and because they're excited that their child is coming home, whether it's from being away at service, being away at college, what have you. So I wrote down that this is what it looks like when the father and the mother, God and the earth, create a safe space together for their righteous children. God moved the earth, and it responded in its presence of the children that reflected the father and respected the mother. The God of Jacob, the people of the God of Jacob, respected the earth in a way and respected the principles in a way that God recognized, so that the earth was moved for them. And this is what I call when the will of man matches the will of God. When Our will matches God's will. That's heaven, I guess. You know? Taylor Proverb 2:14. When the father sees his children returning, the mother begins to move mountains.